And now we're going to discuss Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. Full spoilers.
Full spoilers.
Full spoilers. So, all right, just to continue my rant. Boring. However, I did like the story. I liked the plot twist. I didn't expect that coming. And that's about the only part of the movie I think saved it for me.
Okay.
The story was okay.
I knew Jude Law.
I figured.
I was like, all right.
I didn't know. I wasn't. I know.
I don't know why. I just knew it from the beginning. That had I didn't care. The only thing that was different was, surprisingly, Ben Mendelsohn, who's always a villain.
Yeah, that's why I was like,
not being one. I was like, oh.
I was just.
But that was like the only thing that was. Other than that, everything was like predictable. I mean, they show the previews when she's flying around in space. Like, I don't know. Like, she's going to get to that point and just like power up. They just like wrote it out in the beginning.
Right.
You know, the movie starts off. They're like, she's training with Jude Law, and like, he's like, oh, you got the control. And I knew that was going to come back up at the end.
Of course it is.
He's just like, oh no, you have to beat me without your power sometime. And then what happens at the end? Yeah. And I knew full well at the very end she would just.
Oh yeah, I didn't expect that.
I was like, it's going to be a
so
comedic.
Upset with that. Like, just stop doing that. We learned our lesson from Star Wars, the one we will not speak about. You don't throw out some great scene just for the comedic effect. Like, no, have them fight and prove that she's stronger than him and that she's
she
better.
had nothing to prove.
Well, yeah, whatever. No, entertain us. It's a darn comic book movie. They're supposed to be fighting.
So some of the things I liked and some of the things I disliked. Some of the things I liked. Okay, there was the actor that was in Guardians of the Galaxy when Chris Pratt's trying to steal the whatever the thing
Ronan's lackeys or whatever.
Yeah. And like he's in this, and at first I was like, "Wait, are they just recycling actors here?"
That's what I thought too.
And then all of a sudden,
you're running out of characters already.
Ronan's actually in the movie, which I thought, like, all right, now I understand how he becomes part of Ronan's crew.
Right.
Cool.
And I got that. That's
why.
And
that's just like a small little tie-in. I'm like,
I liked it.
What? I like it. That's cool.
I liked it too.
I didn't like. I mean, I know why they did it, but I didn't like that Ronan shows up at the end with a fleet, and then it just gets destroyed. But then, like, to me, it just felt like it was too much.
Well, there was nothing else for her to fight.
As I say, they needed something for her to actually blow up and like,
there's only
show
like 5
her power
or 6
at the
dudes,
end.
and she already tore
But
through
Ronan's
them.
dead.
Well, now he is.
Yeah, but then he's like, "Oh, we're gonna come back for the girl."
Yeah, I was
like,
by that too. Like,
I don't know, like that. Like
unless they have Captain Marvel sequel that takes place in like the early 2000s or something.
I don't know, but I mean, just some of the beginning stuff. I'm gonna go into like a dislike. Was kind of confusing on how they got to Earth. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, I was like, "Where's this coming from?" Because.
Well, I guess because they knew that the thing was already orbited, so that's why they took him back there. But that wasn't really explained to the end.
Yeah, but here's the
confused the whole movie.
So she, what was her name? Veers.
Veers. Yeah.
Veers. Mm-hmm. That's what they call her. Captain Marvel. I'm just gonna call her Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel. She goes on this mission at the beginning down to some planet to like rescue a spy.
I like that actually.
I'm like, all right, let me see it. Then she gets knocked out. Mm-hmm. And it goes through this trippy dream sequence. Like she has amnesia. She's not sure what's going on. All right, cool, whatever. Kind of weird. But then, like, she like breaks out of everything, breaks out of the ship, and then she falls into Earth's orbit. And I'm like, what? Where'd that go? It just was like instantly drawn there.
What
and
kills
it? Just I don't know why it wasn't like explained on how unless I missed something completely.
Well, I know I almost fell asleep, so maybe I did. And I didn't like the like the black box. Like, okay, how did he get the recording? Well, I can get things easy. Like, how would you even know what that is? And so look, if he's the good guy the whole time, why didn't when she's suspended like that, him go up to her and be like, look. We're actually the good guys here. Can I explain to you what happened?
I'm trying to find my family.
Yeah, okay. Your people are
find our home world.
I just want to leave. We just want to get out of here. Will you let us get out of here? There's none of that. It's just, it's cool.
All that was
to
used
build them up, but
they did that because
I know because he had to put the plot twist in.
I know, but so there were things that were like, all right, this is the chase scene with like Nick Fury and Agent Coulson.
I thought it was bland.
No, but then when.
The one guy is not Coulson.
Yeah, he's a Skrull.
Yeah,
he like shapeshifted. I'm like, all right, like
okay,
good way of introducing it.
Right,
I like it. But overall, I mean, when she's like trying to find the scroll, she's going on the train and all that kind of stuff. I thought it was fine. Like, I didn't think it was boring. Like, I didn't think it was boring. Did they know where
she was? Like, they splashed down in the ocean. They come out of the ocean, and that's like, oh look, there she. Like, how did they know where she landed?
She had her tracker.
Yeah, but
she activated it.
But I don't know. I think there's a lot to this movie that was kind of thrown onto screen without much thought. A lot of people loved the cat. I read some of the reviews on the way home because I didn't read any reviews before this thing started, and I liked the cat kind of. I liked it as a cat, and then when it would turn out to be an alien, I didn't like it anymore.
No, because
stupid
it was
and silly.
Again, it's the third act, and it was used for comedic effect,
right,
multiple times, and I'm like, really?
The cat would have been cute if it had just been in that bunker, and that would have been it. I'm like, well, why is it on the ship? As soon as it gets the ship, I'm like, well, it's some kind of creature, or that's actually Marvel, and she's transformed into a cat or something. Like, I thought that's what it, or the cat's somehow an alien, which turned out to be an alien, or something special, like a Men in Black. What's that kind of cat? Like, oh, it's actually around the cat's neck, the coordinates. Or I was expecting that as well. But no.
Yeah, the cat thing was...
Like, explain, how did it get there? Like, oh, it's just an alien that kind of just hangs around, and no one decided, like, oh, we have a cat.
Again, that ending was just very much...
Eats the Tesseract. Like,
the cat.
He didn't need to have that.
That's how I explained. I thought that's kind of...
We don't need to have that.
I would have liked to have known... Because the Tesseract... Okay, real quick.
Yeah, they had it.
In Captain America, the original movie.
The same thing.
They got it.
Right. They found out the bottom of the ocean. They couldn't find the Captain America.
And didn't they find it, like, it was like in modern day. It was like 2012.
Well, yeah. He was like, oh, look, we already have it. Like, what is it? Oh, it's a secret to power. That was like pre-Avengers.
Yeah. And so I'm like, well, this is 1990.
Well, it was at the end of Thor. It was at the end of Thor we saw that.
Okay.
So it went missing between now and then, and no one like is hunting for this thing that she captured it. Like, this is the super powerful thing.
But the cat had it on the desk.
Yeah. Like,
I don't know. Maybe I need to think about that.
I don't. It's almost like it was in their possession between then, and then we can just have whatever we want to happen to it. Like
maybe I'm not. I'm sure it'll make sense if I think back through it.
Oh, I thought back through it. It doesn't make sense. It looks like they just tried to make a story out of it. And like, look, we'll throw an Infinity Stone in there because the whole Tesseract thing, like the Avengers, and we'll throw the word Avengers in there and make it actually kind of fit in. Like, it didn't have to do this. You didn't have to have her even come back to Earth. It could have been a quick...
But
I just...
Overall...
it just was poor. You know what this movie was? This movie was Jell-O. This movie was friggin' Jell-O. And I'll explain how it's Jell-O, okay? You get Jell-O. Look, it's pretty. It's colorful. It moves. Look at it jiggle. Isn't that great? Oh, it slurps down. And then you know what you're left with? Friggin' more Jell-O. And then after you've had 2 or 3 spoonfuls of Jell-O, there's more Jell-O to be had, and you're already about to be sick.
You're like,
all right?
I'm good.
I'm good. I don't want any more Jell-O for the rest of my life. Okay? That's what this movie is. Yeah. This movie is bland ash Jell-O. All right? Captain Jell-O. That's what this movie is from now on. It's just completely average. It's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fun, kind of. I was more bored than I think most people, and that's it. There's nothing to it.
I think rather than it being, because it's average, but the reason I gave it a 6 is because of the de-aging technology. I was so impressed. I liked seeing young Samuel. I was like, this is great. Like,
okay. I'm not going to give it a higher point though.
I like watching Sam.
Well, he's in every other movie, so it's not that hard to find him.
But and then the post-credit scene, it's just a scene straight out of Avengers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's probably one of the first scenes in the movie.
Right. Yeah, it has to be in the movie, because if you didn't see Captain Marvel, you were like, who's this chick? Like, oh, you had to see Captain Marvel to know who that is. Like, well, I didn't see it. Like, at least with Avengers, if you ever saw Black Panther, you'd kind of go, oh, okay, they're going to some kingdom, and there's this guy, apparently that's Black Panther, because he was in Civil War, all right. Yeah. And you didn't have to see, you had to see a couple movies maybe before, but this one, like, you have to stay for the end credit scene to know that she shows up. Like, both end credit scenes.
It's in the movie. It's literally going to be one of the first things.
Oh, absolutely. So, whatever. But the cat vomits up. Yeah, if you stay for the very, very end, the cat vomits up the Tesseract, which I was like, stupid. Come on. Look. Do the Harry Potter formula, and I'll explain this. If you watch the first Harry Potter, it's for kids. Shh. If you watch the second one, it's a little older and a little older. And by the time you get to the very last one, it's very dark, it's very gloomy, it's very adult. Okay? That
brings up a good point.
Because people age with these movies, and they know that when a little kid watches it,
beginning like phase of like this is like Thor.
Yes, like we're all older
they
now.
They couldn't figure out exactly how they wanted to just
the 10-year-olds are
put
21
everything in
now,
there, and so
okay?
they're like, "Hey,
now
we're going to try this.
We're
going to see what people like,
right?
And then we'll tweak it next movie." But this is the latest movie to come out after how many like a 30 movies.
Avengers was like the latest Avengers. They did it right. Like, hey, it's getting darker because people are older and they're expecting a little darker theme now. We're no longer catering to the elementary school kids. We've got everyone. We got the whole friggin' country. All right?
Yeah.
And now we're worried about, we have to make it nice for everyone. Like, Disney, lay off. Give us something a little more real.
I think I'm going to go with a 5.
Oh, you're changing right there. 5's, you know what? 5's all around.
I think thinking about it, I'm like, that's a 5.
It's average.
Average.
Right down
run
the
of the mill.
Flat-lined average.
I mean, granted, the CGI was great.
It's fine, but that doesn't save the movie.
That's not going to...
It actually makes me angry now thinking about it.
All right, don't change your score.
I'm not. It's because look, some parts were nice, but I can't, look, go watch Civil War. And what is the first thing you do once it was like available on YouTube or something? You went to the airport scene, right?
Yeah, like, I need a memorable scene.
Right, memorable scene. You go to Avengers, you're like, I want to see the scene where they fight Thanos. Like, that's a memorable scene, right?
Exactly.
Think about Iron Man. You're like, I want to see when he goes into like the desert and starts wrecking. You always can think of like one of those scenes. Even Thor has
there's no memorable
none.
Scenes.
You can't think of one. Like, the sub wasn't that good. The ending it wasn't that good. There's nothing in here where you're like, I really love
her
that.
displaying her powers had literally like no effect.
Watch my face.
It just
watch my face. This is when like normal dialogue was happening, and now this is during a fight scene. And that's what this movie is. Bland throughout. I may have chuckled once or twice, not laughed, but and that was it. I can't remember what parts I chuckled at.
Some of the nostalgia, like the internet.
Yeah, actually that was okay, but that's member berries. It just is fun for a minute, and then it's not.
That's my thing. If you go back, the nostalgia is not going to be fun anymore. It's like, okay.
So, I don't want this to be a future trend for Marvel movies. And
I don't think it will. I think it's just because it's an origin. I think this is a straight up origin. It's like, here we go. We need to get the character out there. Here we go. And it'll change, I'm sure. I hope.
I just don't care to like see this character ever again. I know I will, but I'm not like looking for like Black Panther. Like, yeah, I want to see more Black Panther. Oh, yeah. All right, it's all Thor. Like, yeah, Captain America, Ant-Man. You're like, yeah, more Ant-Man. Her, you're like,
I guess I'm more worried.
I guess she'll be in there.
Yeah, I mean, because you think about like any of the other characters that haven't gotten a movie, but I mean, like Black Widow.
Black Widow. Thank you. Took the words.
But see, I remember I think of her like meshing with the Avengers. You know what I mean? Like when you think of these characters, like, oh, they mesh with the Avengers. Iron Man, of course. Like you think through these characters. Her, it's like I hope she can, but I just don't want it to be off-putting. I don't know. Like I feel like the team is so good right now.
It's
but. We're just going to have to wait and see.
She's going to come in and save the day, which is, hey, as long as it's written well, she has a little more enthusiasm than she did this last run of the mill. And I hope it's a directing thing. I think it is.
I think it is.
I'm going to just jump on that.
She really is a great
She is. I like her. It's not against her, but it looks like she just was like, and I'm supposed to say my lines like this? Like, yes, because you don't want to show emotion. Like, no, but you're supposed to show emotion. That's like what acting is.
It's like literally they were just tossing a wooden block at her. Like, act like this. See this? Wooden. Okay.
Would you like some Jell-O with that? How about some vanilla pudding? Would you like some toast? No butter. It's just normal,
dry toast.
Cut down the center, not in triangles toast. And that's what this movie is. This movie is white Wonder Bread white toast. So if you're interested in having a piece of Wonder Bread white toast with nothing on it and a side of Jell-O with just a hint of vanilla pudding, yes, this movie's for you.